Heyo people, what is up? This is Nick, head coach of the Mount Silver Scyther, and I'm going to be commentating my match between Greg of the Blackthorn City Hydreigon. He was previously the Valkyrinas? Viridian City Valkyrina, yeah. So, this match happened a few days ago, and I don't remember everything that happened, so I don't remember everything that happened. So here we go. So yeah, Ticklefinger comes out against the Gliscor. And this situation, I'm like, okay, I gotta make it so he's not poisoned because that would be bad for me. So I go for the knockoff here because I'm like, if he switches in something like Chandelier to take the Will-O-Wisp, I'll hit it for big damage and knock him its item. So I get rid of his Assault Vest, which is pretty sweet. Very good for me. And we get some leftovers, some sand, and blah blah blah, all those types of things. So I forget about the fucking change that they made to Prankster, which is annoying. Because the change that makes it so any moves that a Prankster Pokemon uses against Dark Pokemon just straight up fail, which is annoying. Now I bring out Echo, because Echo can just eat Tyranitar's face. Because, yeah, there's nothing you can really do. So, like, look at this. I mean, it's not stab damage, I guess, so I guess it makes sense that it doesn't do all that much. But, like, that is nothing. Echo's such a boss. Which, by the way, Raoul, I will never trade Tapu Fini to you. So, stop asking, because she's permanently on my team, because she's awesome. Now he sends out Deluge, which... that's not surprising, because he can take pretty much anything that Fini can throw out really well, and then he scares her away with electrical attacks, so clearly it's not a good matchup for me, so on my next turn I'm going to have to switch and bring in somebody who... oh right, no, he did hit me with the Volt Switch. This one does so much damage. Later he hits me with one that I don't think does as much damage. I was super confused about him. I don't know what it was. And then I get my light screen up, which is good. This is nice and helpful because my team could take special attacks, but not from his team because it's got things like this Roserade and the Rotom Wash that a lot of my Pokemon aren't huge fans of. So now I bring out the Hotodogu. I like Hotodogu because he is not a dog. Do you like Hotodogu? But yeah, he's got an Assault Vest this week, so eats up that, especially behind a light screen. Yeah. Oh, and here it is, the best plan ever. So like, this looks like a horrible matchup for Arcanine, right? Like, you can't really do much to this thing, and now he's poisoned too, so he's got the Toxic Orb. So it's not looking good for me. But Hidden Power, Ice, fucks his day up. So, I was super happy about that plan. It worked exactly how I wanted it to, because it just makes sense. Put something on a Pokemon that they shouldn't be afraid of, and you fuck their day up. And I still have a Light Screen, and I still have an Assault Vest, so I'm just going to hit him with some Snarls, and then he's going to throw this really weak Hydro Pump. Like, look at that. Nothing. Nothing. The Light Screen does wear off, so I know I do need to get out of there, because I can't take too many more of these. Except now he's at -2, so that definitely helps me out. It's like it still does it does good damage, but nowhere near as much as it should have. But like also, fucking I think he hits a third one in a row. So like, holy Hydro Pump accuracy, Batman. Seriously. And I set back up my Misty Terrain because I love to keep that stuff up. But yeah, Hydro Pump. Oh yeah, it did nothing. Nothing. But still, 3 in a row. 3 in a row. I remember last season when I had Rotom Wash, I was hitting like 50% at best with mine. And he Volt Switches. And see, it does less damage this time. I just don't understand the damage that was going on. Because now there's no light screen up either. So I just didn't know what was going on. And I set up my light screen again. Now this thing, Rhianoclus, this thing is fucking stupid fat bulky for some reason. So I withdraw, bring in Buddy, because I'm like, okay, I don't think this thing can do too much to Buddy. And it starts Calm Minding. And this is a physical Azelf this week. So I'm like, okay, I'll just beat it up a little bit, smack it around, get a little whack, smack it on the forehead, which does about half health, which is pretty sweet. And he gets rid of its leftovers, but he does go for the acid armor. And I was like, oh shit. Seriously? So he's got +1 special defense and special attack, and then +2 physical defense. Not a huge fan of it. So I'm like, okay, I gotta fucking burn this thing if I want any chance at it dying. And it recovers. Yeah, this thing sucks. Which means that leaves it with 1 attacking move, so I probably could have just kept attacking right here. Because I think it only has like Psyshock. So yeah, that's why he switches out, because he literally can't do anything against Sableye. And he brings in Calamity to stop my attacks again, but also set up that Sandstream to chip damage my team. And yeah, my Will-O-Wisp doesn't work, so I hate that nerf that happened to Prankster. It's just so mean. Like, I mean, sure, Prankster was really super good, and it is still super good, but fuck you, Game Freak. I don't like that change. Makes me sad. And he hits me retreating with that, which makes me very unhappy. Here's where I just make... You'll see. I made some not very smart moves, so I'm like, psh, psh, let's just U-turn. Let's hit him with some damage. Which it does nice damage, but he pursued me and 80 base power stab again. Yeah, no, it doesn't go well for Azelf. So yeah, that was a bad choice. That was a bad choice. So now out comes Lancelot for the first time in the fight. And this is where I make another mistake, because for some reason I wanted to keep Beedrill out, because I wanted to know exactly what was going to be his Beedrill counter. So I'm like, I can just hit this with a Drill Run. It should be enough damage to kill it. I checked the calcs later. This literally came down to a damage roll, and that, like, I was off by like 2%. Like, so I just got a slightly too low damage roll, which left it alive, which let it kill me. And that actually kind of screws me over, because I really needed that alive. But at this moment I could, there's Sand Up, and this is, oh no, this is Mold Breaker, not Sand Rush, never mind. And I was expecting his switch, but he just sacrifices that, which I mean is kind of good, but at the same time not good. And now the Sandstorm's gone, but it's not a Sand Rush one anyways. Now he brings out Rococo, which this is the problem. That now that I don't have Beedrill, I mean, it's Choice Scarfed anyway, but there's not much I can do. So I bring out Hatadogo, because I'm expecting a fire move, just because, yeah, and it avoids, which doesn't really matter, just because I don't think it would have killed me, and it might have. Stab, it might have done it. So Deluge comes back out, and I hit it with that Snarl. Rawr! And then it gets its barrier off, which sucked. I was like, damn it. See, that's why I don't understand how his damage amounts change so wildly during this fight. But I switch out Hatadogo, bring in Pop-Tart, because I was like, okay, he's probably going to try and Volt Switch to hit the Feeny that comes in. And I have the Mold Breaker up. But he does go for the Hydro Pump. But this is an Assault Vest. So, boom. Not even half health. Fuck yeah. And he does stay out. So I can just destroy Deluge with this Earthquake. So, goodbye Deluge. That was super cool. Toodaloo. Now Rococo comes out. And this thing is a problem because I know I can't take a Fire Blast from it. So I'm like, okay, let's bring out the Hatadogo and fish for that fire attack. And then Flamethrower. So it's got Flamethrower, Fire Blast, and later we see Shadow Ball. So this thing's really all about that fire. So, and I withdraw because I'm like, okay, it's locked into Flamethrower. I could probably mess this thing up a little bit. Hopefully, maybe. But I think this Flamethrower, it just does enough to, yeah, it kills him. Which I was like, shit. I wanted a knockoff. But also with this, I wanted to get a clean switch in for Echo. Which I think I make a mistake here. Which, I mean, it didn't cost me the fight, but I think if I... Yeah, Zygote comes back in. Oh no, it wouldn't have really mattered. So I go for the Scald, just to try and get some damage, and especially since this thing isn't boosted right now. I'm like, okay, just gotta try and stop it any way I can. So now I start going for Moon... Oh no, I go for the Light Screen first. Which I don't think matters because I think this thing has Psyshock. Yeah, it has Psyshock, so my Light Screen literally doesn't matter because it hits on physical defense. And I know I can survive at least like 2 more of these from where I'm at. So I'm like, okay, it's Moonblast time. I gotta get those special attack drops to do something to help me. It goes for the Recover, which I was smart on his part. I'm assuming he knew I was going to start attacking. Or he thought I was going to switch. So, which brings me up even more, which means I can definitely survive 2 hits. And I'm just Moonblast, Moonblast, Moonblast. Because I know if I hit it enough, I can get those special attack drops, which help me out. So now its special defense is up, which sucks for me. But now its special attack is still just neutral. Nah. We keep going. We don't stop. And also I'm getting heals off of this. So every time that it boosts its stats, I just get healed without taking any damage. So I'm like, just keep going. And yeah, like he definitely knew here, like just keep this thing alive and there's not much I can do against it. So we have this for a little bit. I heal, he heals, I attack. And this, the terrain disappears, so I think I start going for Scald. No, I switch. Because I was expecting a stat boost, I guess. And he didn't. I was hoping he didn't go for the Acid Armor, and he doesn't go for the Acid Armor. He goes for the Calm Mind, which is good for me, because now that means he doesn't have the stupid boosted defense. So like, sure, special attack, special defense, I don't care. And my Light Screen does wear off, which does kind of suck. And I can just go for... Oh, yeah. So... I see how much an Earthquake does, which is not even half damage, which sucks. And it goes for the +1 Psyshock, which does a good amount of damage. And I'm like, at this point, I'm saying a lot. I'm like, I need 2 flinches in a row to win this fight. So he goes for the Recover instead of going for the kill. Which is understandable because he knows he just needs to keep this thing alive because I can't kill it if I don't get lucky. So it recovered, and I'm like, I need 2 flinches in a row to be able to kill this thing. There's literally no other way that I can kill this thing. Because I have to bring it down to under half to be able to kill it with an Earthquake. So I'm like, okay. And then flinch. I'm like, oh shit, I need another flinch here. I need another flinch. And that's another flinch. So like now I'm like, okay, I can just throw out an Earthquake because I know it'll do enough damage. And then throw out the Earthquake. That will be enough to kill that thing finally. So the 2 for flinching was definitely required on that. But it really didn't matter because now at this point Rococo is to come in totally for free. And it's scarfed. And my team is super weak, so I can't do anything about it. And with this I was hoping I could survive. I was hoping he would go for a fire move and I could just survive it and then easily KO it back with the Scald, but he goes for this Shadow Ball, which is neutral on my whole team. And sure, I survived, but it's faster than me since the Choice Scarfed. And I definitely won't take a second hit, and Shadow Ball's not going to miss, so he can just spam Shadow Ball the rest of the fight for the win. So like, yeah, me not doing U-turn on Beedrill was dumb, and cost me the fight for sure. Because at this point at the end, if he had locked into Shadow Ball, I checked the calcs, it would not have killed Beedrill, and Beedrill easily could have KO'd Chandelure. Because I could have hit it with a knockoff 1 turn, and the next turn I would be faster, and then I could kill it with whatever. So, definitely not using U-turn was a huge mistake. But, shit happens, man. Sometimes you make a move, and I mean, it did come down to a damage roll, too. So, if I had gotten those 4 points of HP more in damage, it would have killed him, and Beedrill still would have been alive at full health, so Made a mistake, cost me the battle, but it happens, man. Also, Hatadogu getting that kill on Gliscor was pretty sick, so I'm going to take a victory on that play exclusively. So, ha, Greg, you may have won the war, but I totally won that one individual face-off. Suck it.